All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again at Living Light. Let me introduce you to Andrea Griffith. So Andrea has been preparing raw food cuisine and teaching raw food preparation for 5 years. She received her Living Light Associate Chef and Instructor certification in 2008. Andy won first place in the Raw Some Pie contest at the 4th Annual Vibrant Living Expo and Culinary Showcase last year. Her new diet book, The Fruits and Greens Diet, has been very popular with family and friends, and she teaches raw food classes, prepares weekly raw food dinners, and sells scrumptious desserts in the Sacramento area. So please, let me welcome Andrea.
Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to be back here again. I love it every time I come. I am Raw Chef Andy. And before I begin, I'd like to introduce my lovely assistant, Angie. Come on in. She also teaches with me in the Sacramento area. Yay. I don't know what I'd do without her. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited about raw foods. How many of you love raw foods? I didn't hear you. How many of you love raw foods? Well, I love it so much, I wrote a song about it. Would you like to hear it? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, raw foods, I love it so, you'll never know. All my life was in despair, now I've no care. When I eat foods grown in light, the world is bright, all right. What's the difference if I say, all fricassee, when I know it's fresh greens that my body needs each day? For whatever raw foods is, it's my biz forevermore. It costs me a lot, but there's one thing that I got, all my juicers. Dehydrator, food processor, beslicer, and spiralizers. Yes, it's true, sirs. They're not much for looks, but I got all the raw food books, and I even wrote one. 2 or 3 friends, I'm sure, are just rawing for a cure. But I love it. Oh, raw foods, I love it so. You'll never know. All my life was in despair. Now I've no care. When I eat foods grown in light, the world is bright. All right. What's the difference if I say, I'll fricassee, when I know it's fresh greens that my body needs each day? For whatever raw foods is, it's my biz forevermore. Thank you. Wow, that was fun. I got that off my chest. Today, literally, today I'm going to show you how to make Ile Flottante. And most people say, what the heck is that? Well, the last class that was just here did Mediterranean. I'm taking you to France. Ile Flottante is French for floating island. It was traditionally made as a sponge cake or sometimes an angel food cake on a bed of vanilla bean sauce, topped with a caramel sauce and toasted almonds. I worked at a French restaurant called La Provence in Monterey, and this was such a popular dessert. And of course, I ate it all the time because it was free if you worked there. And I said, I have to learn to make that all raw. So I did. I exchanged the sponge cake for a coconut meringue. And you're going to find out how to do that today. Yes, a coconut meringue. And Heather, who just taught the class before me, she was one who helped us in one of our earlier classes come up with the idea for the caramel sauce. So I'm excited to bring that back into play. And instead of toasted almonds, we have simply sliced raw almonds. Now this way you can have your dessert, enjoy it, guilt-free. Don't worry about the fat in the coconut because, as most of you have come to know if you're raw foodists, although coconut is a saturated fat, because of the medium-chain fatty acids, it doesn't go into fat in your body. It doesn't start getting to your hips and all those other places that fat does. It gets sent to your liver and turns into energy, just like carbohydrates. Yay! Can I hear a big ta-da? Okay, great. All right, well, let's start off with making our simple, what are we making first? Our vanilla bean sauce. Vanilla bean sauce is so easy, so yummy. I use it for all kinds of different recipes. If you use it a little thicker and put it in the refrigerator, you can dip strawberries or other fruit into it and eat it just like that. So yummy. You will love it. Okay, this is the Vitamix juicer, and that's what I'm going to use for this particular recipe. What I've done is I've taken a couple of cups of cashews and soaked them. You need to soak them at least a couple of hours to get them real soft. But if you're at home and you're making it and you say, I need some right now because I need it now, and we've all been there where we want it, and we want it now. Don't even bother soaking them because there aren't any enzyme inhibitors in there. We're just making them soft. Just use a little extra water, okay? This will make it a little easier. Couple cups of that. I'm using a half cup of agave syrup in here. Everybody have a recipe? Good. Yay. And then 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. If you don't have a recipe, we'll make sure we'll get you one for you afterwards. Or steal your neighbors. When they're not looking, of course. Okay, I'm going to put in a whole vanilla bean, but I'm going to wait till the end because we don't want it completely ground up in there. We just want the little sprinkles. Okay, I'm going to add water as needed. Like I said, the longer you soak your cashews, the less water you'll probably need. And some people like this a little thicker. Some people like it a little runnier. So it's about taste there. We'll start off with a little bit there. With the Vitamix juicer, you want to make sure everything is off first. There are 3 dials, the low-high, the slow to super fast, and the turbo. Okay, so we'll start with it on off. Get it going. All right, there's a special ingredient I didn't put in yet. Does everybody know what ingredient you put in every single recipe you ever make? Love. That's right, love. We love you. There we go. Wasn't that fun? And you know what? I think it felt it from all of you as well. You can stretch during this time. Do a yoga pose. All right. Let's just see how that came along. It looks kind of thick. Get my spatula out. Okay. Oh, beautiful. I don't think I need any more water. See how that is? It's kind of thick, but it still can move. Okay, I think now we'll do our vanilla bean. Now, before I got into raw foods and didn't really know what I was doing, I didn't know what half anything was in the grocery store. And the vanilla beans I used to get were these dried up, pruny-looking vanilla beans that you'd find at the regular grocery store. I didn't know you can get them in these beautiful glass bottles. Pop them open. Did you hear that? Pop. And when they come out, oh, they smell beautiful. They're flexible. See, this is the opposite of Vlasic pickles. You know, you don't want them to snap. Going, woo. Okay, so we'll take our vanilla bean. What I'm going to do is first I cut it in half just to make it easier on me. And I just remembered at home when I do this, I wear glasses so I can see what I'm doing. But we'll hope that we don't cut off any fingers today. Okay. Is that on the camera above me? What I'm doing? Okay, great. I want you all to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to cut through it diagonally. I might as well do both while I'm here. Now, this particular knife I have has a dull tip. See that? And I like using this for my vanilla. I'm doing it like this for both cameras. Okay, so it's not going to cut through my vanilla bean when I open it up. It's simply going to get all the vanilla bean goodies out of the center. You could put the entire bean in your vanilla bean sauce if you want. It makes it a little bit more, what's the word? Yes. Say that again? Spotted. Yeah, well, it makes it more spotted. It makes it darker, but it gives it a more, the taste I don't want. The taste that I can't think of because it's not in my vocabulary right now because that's not what we're making. We're making something yummy and sweet. We want it sweet. So once you open up that vanilla bean, you'll just take your dull tip knife and just scrape right through. See how I'm doing that? And look at all that. Can I get a big ta-da? There you go. I'll put my little beans in there. Hello, beans. We love you too. We just love to love our food. And you know, raw food has so many different variations and extremism and things like that. You have to remember, the more healthy you're eating, the better it is for you. Don't get caught up in the dogmas. Are those cashews truly raw? Because we know that they're not. The way that they extract them is a heated process, so they probably aren't perfectly raw. But they're not roasted or cooked either, so that's good. More. We love you too. Vanilla beans. French cooking is one of my favorites, and I have not yet seen the new movie, Julia and Julia. Has anybody seen that yet? Yes, I am looking forward to see that. Of course, I have to wait for it to come on TV. I'll get it. It'll come off. You're not going anywhere, sweetie pies. We know where you live. Right here. Okay, I just want to make sure I got all of it. Yes, that's a fun movie. And I love the idea of taking some of the French desserts and French meals and showing that nothing is hard if you just take the time and learn the fundamentals of making it. And that's kind of like this is with these desserts. Once you learn how to make a simple vanilla bean sauce, which is nothing more than cashews, a little sweetener, a little bit of vanilla, and then flavor it up any other way you want. You can put a little raw cacao powder in here, make a chocolate sauce. Put a little coconut oil in there or some soy lecithin and make it harden up a little bit more to make a coating on some fruit. All kinds of fun things to do. All right, let's stir that in there. Okay. Now, just simply from sitting there for those 4 minutes, it really thickened up like that. See how thick that got? So I'm going to water it down a little bit because I have to be able to pour it. So, that looks like enough. I put in there, how much? About 2/3 to a cup of water as needed. The more you make it, the more you decide how thick you want it. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you made chocolate milk with the Hershey syrup bottle, and it didn't matter how much you put in, you just kept putting more in. So, she knows what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, I know. It was yummy. Okay. Now, yay. All right. I find the perfect way to make a Ile Flottante is to serve it on a blue plate, because now this is like the ocean. Okay. Got my little ocean. Get my little puddle going in there. Love it. Ooh, okay, that's an extra island. It's Hawaii. That's Tahiti over there. Okay. Now, Angie's going to make sure everybody gets a little bit in there. Don't leave with it. Sample bowls are right there. She'll be back. Because I know you all want some. Okay, so we'll leave that there. All right. Now, this next part's going to be very dangerous. I've gone to school for this. It took me a lot of training. I would say don't try this at home, but I want you to try it at home. So go ahead. Be dangerous. Live dangerously. It's how to open up a young coconut. This is what a young coconut looks like when you get it at the store. It's different than the mature coconuts because the meat inside is going to be softer. And you can drink the water. Comes with a little plastic coating, which we're just going to remove and discard. See, my French is coming out. Discard. Oh. Actually, I knew somebody who the only word he knew in French was this. Oh. So, every time he said something in French, he said, oh. And of course, if you speak like this, you sound French. Well, you know, that's why I had Martine introduce me. She's so cute. All right, what I want to do is take my young coconut. Notice how there's a little peak on the top. That is the top. We'll take it. We'll put it on its side. And with a sharp knife, I'm going to just trim off the excess fat. The little husk on the outside. See, I'm pretending I'm making a steak, but just excess fat. So just take it. I don't have to go all the way through. to make it easier, I go a little bit, whoop, a little bit more, and I go around, just like this. I've got to tell you, this is one sharp knife. But notice, even if I make a mistake, I'm not cutting off my fingers. That's why you want to do it this way. Okay, beautiful. Get some of the extras out there. See? You're opening up, getting rid of the husk, and now you can see the coconut inside down there. Now, there are several little... Where's the sauce? Cashew sauce? We have to put it in all the samples.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. I'm getting it.
Okay, good. I know you all got worried. Everyone here gets a sample today. The question was there any coconut in the cashew sauce? No. That was super simple. All you need is cashews, some agave syrup, a little bit of vanilla. That's all you need for a basic cashew sauce. I made it a vanilla bean cashew sauce, adding the vanilla bean. Use enough water to make it liquidy. But that's all there is. Easy, isn't it? I like things easy. Okay. Yeah, we were getting worried. Now we are at just opening up a coconut. We'll get to that next part real quick, and you'll see I'll answer all your questions most likely as we go. Okay, so with the coconut, now that I have the husk removed, I'm going to take a very strong cleaver, and this is the time when everybody leaves my kitchen. Shh. You want to take the butt end here of the cleaver. We're going to find a couple of soft spots that I want to get. Ooh, that seemed like a spot one. Now, if you're afraid of hurting yourself, I've come up with a little trick for scaredy cats, okay? You can put it gently there. Get it gently there. Lift up both together and slam it down like that. See how it went in? You can do it that way. And once you do get in there, go again a little bit harder. And then they just crack right open. Can I get a ta-da? Thank you. Incidentally, you wonder why we say ta-da in all our classes. The name of our company in Sacramento is Raw Ta-da. So we get used to saying ta-da all the time. Once you open it up, pour the water out, use it in your smoothies, drink it straight. It has more electrolytes found naturally in nature than anything else that I know of. It is so yummy and so good for you. Use it in everything. We're going to be making a coconut milk with it. The best way to get the coconut meat out is to take a skinny spatula. Oh, here's a nice skinny one. Well, whatever. And just go along the edge like that and all the way inside, but I haven't emptied out the water yet. And the coconut meat comes right out. See that? Now, a lot of times you'll get different kinds of coconuts. Some will be very thin and mushy. Some will be extra thick. If I get a lot of the extra thick kind, I like to slice them up and make noodles out of it. This, it doesn't matter as long as we do it kind of by volume. If they have any of the coconut shell still on it, just run it under the water like this and do little stubborn ones, use your fingernail, get it off. Okay, we're going to leave that right there. Martine can have that. And moving right on to the main event. This is our, hang on a second, put that over there. This is our meringue, coconut meringue. And as you know, the world likes to make meringue with egg whites and sugar, and we don't want to eat that stuff. No, we don't. So we're going to eat something different. Yes, we are. Yay! And for this one, I'm going to choose to use the Blendtec blender. I use the Blendtec at home. I have both, the Vitamix and the Blendtec. I tend to like the Blendtec more now because it's shorter. This is the shorter of the Vitamix, but this will fit under your top counter. Plus, it doesn't have that rubber stopper part here, so it's easier to clean. Much lighter weight. I like the knobs. I just like everything about it. So that's my little spiel on that. Okay. Make sure it's on. Blendtec. All right. This is not an easy dessert. I won't lie to you. But if you do a couple things ahead of time, It really is easy. As long as you have everything out like you see that I have here, it'll be easy. So a couple of things that you want to do ahead of time is prepare Irish moss paste. How many of you have ever made Irish moss paste before? Okay, I'm preaching to the choir here. But in case you haven't, it looks like this. Comes in a bag, Irish moss. It's seaweed. And don't tell your guests you made a dessert with seaweed, or they'll until after they eat it. And they go, oh, this is so good. What's it made out of? Say, seaweed. Huh? I mean, seaweed, because it's French. Okay, so you take your seaweed. You want to soak it and soak it and soak it in water a lot. And it's supposed to smell icky because it's from the ocean. Anyway, after you get it all soaked, all rinsed, you soak it in water overnight. After you soak it in water, it'll tell you right on the back of the bag, too, so you don't have to write this down once you get one of these bags. You mix the amount, well, you can take the whole bag, because it's almost impossible to make a small amount of this. Have you ever tried mixing like this much of something? Hello? Can't work. Okay, so you put the whole bag without the plastic wrapping inside your blender and mix it up with water. And then what I do while it's still soft and easy to use is I take tablespoons of it. I tend to take quarter cups worth, about 3 or 4 tablespoons, depending on my desserts. And I put them in baggies, the freezer baggies, a whole bunch of them, about 30 or 40 of them. And I fill up my freezer with it. Now, whenever you want to make one of your desserts, you take out a baggie. Ta-da! See? Ta-da! Okay, so that's that. And first, you have to rinse it really, really good. Sometimes there are rocks or pebbles or other weird seaweed, maybe bugs, I don't know. Then you soak it overnight. In the morning, you drain that and rinse it again a lot. Then put it in your blender with enough water to barely cover and till it gets really smooth. Then you just put little pieces of it in your freezer, and it comes out like this. Now, if you don't do that, it will only last about a week or so in your refrigerator. And then usually you only are going to use maybe a half a cup, and you'll have a whole jar full of this stuff, and then you end up throwing it away. And let me tell you, not cheap, okay? I don't know how much it is. Maybe $12, $18, 18. Yeah, depends. Sometimes you can buy the smaller bags, but yeah, about 18 bucks. So not cheap. Also, if you put the whole amount in the refrigerator and then think you're going to scoop it up later, now it's hard. What I do as soon as I blend it, then I take a spoon and I scoop out a few and I put it in freezer bags. Incidentally, this whole presentation will be available on DVD later. You can buy. So if you forget anything, you can always get the DVD and go, one more time, Andy, one more time, and just keep reviewing.
You can also put it in ice cube trays.
That's another fabulous idea. She said you can also put it in ice cube trays. I don't own any, but that's a good one. And also, I wish they would make, and they probably do, ice cube trays with lids, because I don't like anything open like that in my freezer. I have very limited amount. As a raw food chef, everything is in my freezer or refrigerator. It's just filled up. I don't even have a pantry. Okay, well, I have one cupboard, which has like stuff like this. All right, we have to move in. The second thing you want to do ahead of time is open up all those coconuts. Open up a whole bunch, because you never know when you're going to open up. Half of them might be bad. The way to pick out a good coconut is to pick it out at the store, give it a shake. If you hear water sloshing around, it's bad. You don't want to hear that, because it has to be filled to the brim so much that you don't hear any sloshing. All right? And now also look at it, weigh it in your hand, kind of judge it. It has to look heavy. It has to feel heavy for its size. Okay? That's the way. But do that ahead of time. Pour out the water. Save the water, because you'll use it for this. And put the meat in another container, and then you're ready for the next day. You'll have a few coconuts in here. Cashews. Cashews, like I said before, only need to really be soaked about 20 minutes to get soft. But they can be longer, 1, 2 hours, 3 hours, if you just want to get it out of your way. Here we go. This is so easy. You're going to say, I can make this every day. All right, what we're going to do first, it's kind of important that you do this in order, too. You want to blend the coconut water, which I think is this, with the coconut meat, which is this. We're going to blend that together and it makes a coconut milk. That's all there is to that. I used 1 1/4 cups coconut water to 10 tablespoons of coconut meat. 1 1/4 cups coconut water to 10 tablespoons coconut meat. Generally, nature has it made pretty good where the right amount of water is in there with the right amount of coconut. But, come on, we know it doesn't always work that way if you ever open up a coconut. Okay, once you get that in there, we're going to add our Irish moss paste, which is, okay, I'll start telling you how much. 1/4 cup Irish moss paste and 1/2 cup cashews that have been soaked, drained, and rinsed. Our agave syrup, 1/2 cup. Vanilla cream. Sometimes it doesn't matter either. This is one of those easy ingredients. Okay, I'm trying to make it harder than it really is. I would blend the water with the coconut first and then throw everything else in. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not. They're telling me that in their booklet that they've received, the recipe is a little different. I didn't put that book together, so I'm sorry if somebody kind of typed it a little bit off, okay? So I'm telling you how it should be. Do the coconut meat in the water first. Make the coconut. Listen to the chef, not the typist. Okay. Also, if anybody emails me at goinraw@rawtada.com, that's GOINRAW at rawtada, RAWTADA.com, and asks me for a copy of this recipe, I will email it to you most likely that same day. Okay? It's goinraw at rawtada, GOIN at RAWTADA. Ta-da! .com. That's goinraw, GOINRAW at rawtada, RAWTADA. Now, .com. Now, all of you are going to watch this DVD later and go, I think I got it first time. Why does she keep repeating that? Okay. But we all do that when we're in here. Whoa, you're writing, you can't think. I've been there. I know. I'm with you. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Write it in. Okay. And make sure you tell me why you're emailing me, too. Don't just send me a blank email. Hi, I thought you were from there. I'll go, why are they writing me? But thank you. Okay, say you want the recipe. I'll give it to you. And that includes anybody who's watching this DVD, too. Okay. I don't even know what I put in now. So we'll put in a little vanilla. Oh, and when I say a little, I mean 1/2 tablespoon. I would put in 1/2 tablespoon. Where did you guys get your recipe books? Goodness gracious. Yeah, there we go. Put in a little lemon juice. That's so funny. Little lemon juice, a teaspoon. Remember, if any of you have done any cooking or raw chefing, you know that a tablespoon, 1/2 tablespoon isn't going to make that big of a difference in your recipe. So if you're off a teaspoon here or there, unless it's salt or something that you go, ooh, wow, a little too much salt, adjust as necessary. Okay? Okay. Like I said, email me. I'll send you what I have and what I use. And just a little bit of sea salt, which is about 1/8 teaspoon, which is basically a pinch, a large pinch. And I put that in there. And then I'm going to blend it again. Okay, here's a little trick I like to do with this blend tech. Because I always have a lot of other things going on, I can turn it on and walk away. It will automatically turn off in about a minute. I'm walking away. Washing my hands for the next thing. Getting things out of my refrigerator for the next thing. I'm getting together my coconut oil and some soy lecithin. That's going to be it. It doesn't turn off in time because you showed up before the commercial was over. Then just press the pulse button and it turns right off. Okay, it's beginning to thicken up. Coconut oil, the good way to soften it up so it's liquefied is to put a small amount, however much you want to use, or put your whole jar in it. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, in your dehydrator. Like that dehydrator. If you don't own a dehydrator, no problem. Put what you think you want, a little bit more, in some kind of glass jar like this, and put the jar in a big bowl of warm, very, very warm water, maybe even slightly hot. And it will just start to, it takes a while, but it will kind of melt and get liquefied like that. Or if people in your house don't have an air conditioner, it probably looks like this already in your cupboard. How about that? Okay, it does not have to be refrigerated. Coconut oil. Yum, yum, yum. Soy lecithin is a binder made from soy. So if you're allergic to soy, careful. If you're allergic to soy, you're probably allergic to everything else, so I feel bad for you. It's hard. All right, one more time. Did you see that? That's all. You don't have to go forever with your blender. Now, there we have coconut meringue. Can I get a big ta-da? There we go. What we want to do, thank you, is take a glass pan, preferably larger than this one, like a long one, but this will work. Pour it in your pan. When I first came up with this one, I thought, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pour this in individual ramekins. And so when I go to serve it, just pop right out. Okay, it doesn't pop out, right? So you have to use a spoon or a spatula, and it's still going to kind of make a little bit of a mess, so don't even bother wasting your time making it all fancy. Just put it in here, and I'm going to show you how we do it. Get one of these fancy Pyrex kind that come with the lids. That way you can stack things on top of it in your refrigerator. Then you put it in your refrigerator, take it out after, a lot of hours. I usually do mine the night before, and the next morning it's ready. Or make it that morning, and then you can serve it that night. And there it is. Look how hard it is. Woohoo! All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little puddle here and add some meringue. Sorry, I put it up here so the camera can get it. I've had this out of the refrigerator for the last hour and a half, 2 hours, so it kind of didn't stay hard. But you get the idea. It's still going to taste just as wonderful. And it should be thicker than this if you keep it in the refrigerator. Like I said, you take it out right when you're ready to make it. Right when you're ready to eat it, I should say. And then you put that big mound up there and it makes your big old mountain right there. I like that. Yum, yum, yum. Angie's going to make some for you. And now we set that aside because what does an Ile Flottante need on top of it? Caramel! I love the way she said that. It almost makes me want to start speaking like this myself. Mais oui, vous avez, madame. Caramel. So we're going to make our caramel sauce now. Back to the small Vitamix. I did it like this so I wouldn't have to wash things right away. At home, I use the same blender for everything. All right. This caramel sauce, like I said before, Heather, who is right there in the back, yay for Heather for helping coming up with this recipe. She introduced it to our chef class, and we thought it was so wonderful. I took a few little liberties with it, but it's still the same basic recipe, and it's still yummy, yummy, yum. So here we go with that. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take some almond butter. And to make almond butter, all you need to do, write this down. Touch your pen. 3 cups of raw almonds. Throw it in your food processor with about a half a teaspoon of salt. For about 15-20 minutes. Ta-da! You have almond butter. That's it. I think you all can do that, right? 15 to 20. You start looking at it and go, oh, it doesn't look like, when it starts looking like this, when it comes out looking like peanut butter. No, food processor. Question, do I soak? Nope. Raw almonds, dry, just like that. Okay? Okay, so you take that, put it in there. All I'm going to do now, that was a half a cup of almond butter, a half a cup of maple syrup, not technically raw, but super good for you, full of a lot of vitamins and nutrients. I'm going to take a half a cup plus 1 tablespoon, because about half a cup wasn't enough, of coconut oil, again, liquefied. Put it in there. I'm going to use about 4 dates. You want to pit it. You want to buy them with the pits in them because they stay better, fresher, longer. Open them up, make sure the pits are out. Also, sometimes you open them up and they have a little crown on top of them. Time to decrown them because it's time to go to work. You can't be royalty anymore. Okay, that's just my little thing. Did you get it? Okay. Crown off, time to get to work. All right, we have 2 tablespoons vanilla. I might have put extra dates in there. Sometimes I do if the dates are kind of small. A half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. An 1/8 teaspoon of salt, which is basically a pinch right there. We're going to add a little bit of water. And we'll see how much we need. I'll put in a little bit to start with. I say about a 1/4 cup, but we'll see. Get it going in there. While that's going, wash my hands. Yes, it needs more. It says. Are you guys having fun yet? I'm sorry, are you having fun yet? Yeah. Woo! I love it. I love dessert. I can eat it for breakfast. My kids are so thrilled because they can have cheesecake for breakfast, and, you know, who doesn't want that? Come on. It's raw, of course. All right. Now I have my caramel sauce. Pour that on top of that. Ooh, like that. Then I'm going to top it with a few sliced almonds. And there you have it, Ile Flottante, floating island. Ta-da! Thank you. Now I have time for some questions. Don't be shy. The question is, how long has my book been out? This is my book, The Fruits and Greens Diet. We're very excited about it. It's been selling pretty good. And it just came out about a month or so ago. It's brand new. I've got it's not a recipe book, although I do have over 50 recipes in it. It's basically a diet book, how to transition and get more greens and more raw foods in it. I'm not 100% raw foodist, and I don't know too many people that are. We tend to eat a little bit of this or that, some maybe steamed vegetables, although that's not in the book. But it shows how the average person, like my mom and my sisters and a lot of my friends, can add more raw foods to their diet. How to get rid of maybe cow's milk and change to almond milk. How to make that simple in almond butter. In fact, that recipe that we just used to make the almond butter, that is in this book, The Fruits and Greens Diet. So if you didn't write it down, here it is. Thank you for asking. And in fact, since you asked, I do have some available in the back that I'm giving a discount to this audience only. It's normally $12.95, but for you today, for the 15 minutes right after this class, I'm selling them for $10 each, and I will be signing them for you as well, if you see me in the very back right afterwards. Anything else? Yes. She's asking about the winning pie recipe, which is in the book. The winning pie recipe from last year was my chocolate raspberry ganache. And it is fabulous. And it's in here. Okay. Yay. Thank you. I use a little bit of raspberry flavoring. When you can't find it, I use anything else like cherry flavoring. how you look for that is, you know where you buy the vanilla? Because you use vanilla. It should be right around there. Ask your grocer. They have several different kinds. They're not going to be raw. They're not going to probably be organic. But you're only using a teaspoon or so for maybe a tablespoon in this recipe. And it just gives the whole pie this, like angels are singing right over you while you're eating it. I think it's worth it. Okay. Okay, by the herbs, she's saying. A little raspberry essence. How about that? See? Talk to each other. Do you know your neighbors? Okay. We have about 2 minutes for anything else. I kind of whipped through the back there because I saw her going, quickly, go.
Can you tell me quickly the first thing that you made? I walked in a few minutes late, but since it's all mingled together, can you just tell me what's in the vanilla bean sauce?
First thing that I made was our vanilla bean sauce.
Okay.
All you basically need are 3 ingredients.
Okay.
Cashews, agave syrup, and vanilla. 2 cups of cashews to about a half cup of agave syrup and about 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. Then you add water, enough to make it blend to the consistency that you would like it, runny or thicker. And also at the very end, I cut open a vanilla bean, scraped out the center, and I blended that in there. And what I'd like to do now is to see how it turned out. So I have my little spoon here, and I'll let you guys know. And when Angie has hers, are some of them ready to go out? We're going to start handing some out while you're sitting there, so you could try some too. Now, it's very important when you take your bite. No, 1 each, and the kitchen wants more. Yeah. When you take your bite, use all your senses. You're looking at it. You're smelling it. You're hearing it. Oh, it said it loved me back. I'm telling you, if it didn't have that caramel sauce on it, it'd just be plain meringue on vanilla bean sauce. That caramel sauce, you can mix and match this. I use this meringue, and I make a lemon meringue pie. Make the lemon and put the meringue on top. Wonderful. It's wonderful. You will absolutely love it. In fact, I will have another bite.
How much coconut oil in the lemon, in the meringue, coconut meringue?
9 tablespoons. How did it get so off on your book? I don't know.
9 tablespoons of oil, and then there was
Let me make sure I tell you right. 10 tablespoons of coconut meat mixed with 1.25 cups coconut water. That's to make the coconut milk. And then I added 9 tablespoons of coconut oil and a tablespoon of soy lecithin because you want to get it to thicken up a little bit. So what do you guys think that I've already tried in a bit? Is that yummy? Yes, that's yummy. Now, when you tell your friends about Ile Flottante, you have to start speaking in your French accent. You say, I made a wonderful Ile Flottante. It's so wonderful, you have to try it. All right, well, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed being here. If you have any other questions or would like to see me, I'm going to be right in the back with my little pen and some books. I look forward to talking to you right in the back. Thank you.